Okay, this is take Z, as in the last one.
Action. Hello from quarantine. My name is Laura Mahaney.
My name is Christian Madison. I am University of Houston, Wolff Center for Entrepreneurship class of 2016.
And I am the co-founder and marketing director for Bluberry Creative.
I am the co-founder and creative director of Bluberry Creative. And I have 2 dogs that are going to be walking around probably in this video. So if you hear tapping in the background, that was crazy cool. Okay, that's me.
How did you find the Wolff Center for Entrepreneurship?
To be completely honest with you, I don't really remember how I learned about the Wolff Center for Entrepreneurship. I just remember recognizing that the Wolff Center was the best, and I wanted to be a part of the best.
I was a junior in high school, and I got an email from my guidance counselor saying that she thought it would be a really good fit for me. And I think she was right. When I was a junior in high school, I went to a summer program that the university was holding called the Bauer Summer Business Institute. And I fell in love while I was there with the Entrepreneurship Day. I saw the company Reserve Supply Company. It's a cool shop that blends skateboard and motorcycle enthusiasts. And it was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. And that was that guy's life. He just worked on this cool thing that he loved. And I realized that that's who I wanted to be.
What was your experience like at WC?
Now, I'm probably going to get in trouble for telling you this, but my time during the Wolff Center was actually really difficult. I didn't go into the program with the right intentions. I never actually thought that I would be running my own business. I was interested in the Wolff Center for Entrepreneurship because I saw that it was the best and I wanted to be a part of that. And I think Dave kind of knew that too, because I had to go through 3 really rigorous interviews before I got accepted. Because my intentions for joining the program were a little bit off, I really struggled to be a part of the WCE experience. And I never really thought that I would actually be running my own business. However, now that I'm on the other side of it, I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to be part of such a great program, because when the time came for me to start my own business and when I realized that I needed to do it, I had the confidence and the tools to be able to excel.
My experience in the WCE was not what I expected it to be. And I think that's a good thing, because what I expected was probably something closer to like some sort of weird think tank, you know, a bunch of young, smart business students just throwing around crazy ideas and trying to, Zuckerberg their way out of the city. And what it was a diverse, eclectic group of people of all ages that had something special about them. And we're trying to figure out how to make that come out, or how to peel back all of the stuff that was fake or distraction or just wasn't who they were meant to be. And I was one of those people too. I still am, still working on it. My experience in the Wolff Center was one of constant self-discovery. And, I think that if they marketed it that way, they probably wouldn't have as many applicants, because that is a scary idea, that you're going to learn more about yourself and sort of refine who you are. But that's what it is. And I think I'm better for it.
What was your path after graduation to getting to where you are now?
I graduated in the spring of 2017. I went to work for a marketing company for a little bit because, you don't just graduate from the Wolff Center with a company. I graduated, I was, I think, just turning 21. Oh, I hadn't turned 21 yet. I was 20 when I graduated from the Wolff Center, and I didn't have any assets or anything. I was a broke college student. So what capital do I have to start something? Even a lean startup. I needed some security first. So I went to go work for a marketing company because I thought that I would learn things there that may help me one day with my own firm. And I did. I worked there for about 6 months, and then I left because I just felt like what happened is I got a promotion while I was there, and I realized that if I took that promotion, I was going to stay there. And that scared me because that wasn't my career that I wanted. That was just like another internship in my brain. And so I left on the day that I got a promotion, and I started Really Great Branding Company, which is a creative and branding company that mostly helped nonprofits or serve nonprofits in the anti-human trafficking space in the city of Houston. And I did that for over a year and a half. And then I started working with Laura Mahaney again, who was also in the Wolff Center, and she had a digital marketing company. And so we realized that we had sort of complementary, opposing but complementary skill sets when it came to our clients. I was more on the creative and branding side, and she was on more the data-based marketing and digital marketing strategy side. And it was a match made in heaven. So that's how we started Bluberry Creative.
Well, my path after graduation was probably a little bit non-traditional. I tried really hard to go the traditional route. My first job was at the marketing agency I had been interning at. That agency closed about 4 months after I had joined, and I had to go find a new place of work. I had a total of 5 jobs in the 2 years after I graduated because I kept searching for the right place for me that allowed me to thrive as a marketer and as a person. And I really, really struggled to find that. The turning point for me was in December 2018. I was diagnosed with a rare chronic condition that I'm always going to have for the rest of my life. I had a bit of a quarter-life crisis, you might say, where I realized that my body wasn't going to work within the traditional 9-to-5 office space kind of work style. And so when I got the diagnosis, I realized that I needed to make a change in my life, and I needed to find a place to work and thrive that would work with my body instead of trying to make my body work within a more traditional workspace. And that's when I decided to start my own marketing agency. What was the decision to partner up? Christian and I had our own marketing agencies individually. His started in 2018, I believe, and mine started in early 2019. We both had different focuses before we partnered up. His agency was really focused on the creative and the design and telling stories. And mine was more focused on the digital side and the marketing and the strategy and execution of a digital marketing campaign. We had collaborated on different clients together beforehand. And then one time after this just really frustrating meeting that we had with the two of us, it might have been one of the worst meetings we've ever had together with a client. We kind of decided that we were stronger together. Even though the meeting didn't go as well as we'd hoped it could go, we realized that our strengths together would really amplify what we were able to do. And so that's when we made the decision to partner up and form Bluberry Creative.
It made sense. We were both working, freelancing on our own, doing what we were good at. And we decided that we could serve even more people. And if we worked together, double our bandwidth. So,
give us your elevator pitch.
Bluberry Creative is a full-service marketing agency.
Bluberry Creative is a full-service marketing agency.
We help you from branding to marketing.
We provide data-based marketing strategy along with creative branding and content creation
to help deliver you results. One of the things that I think really sets us apart as a marketing agency is how we combine the beauty of design with the usability. So we don't always just try and make the most beautiful thing possible. If we did that, I don't think Christian would ever leave his computer because he would just be designing. But we also try and make sure that the designs that we're making are going to be usable and that they're going to deliver results and tell a story. When we combine that with innovative digital marketing strategies, that's when we really help our clients see results. One thing that I think is really unique about Bluberry Creative is our commitment to anti-exploitation. So both Christian and I are both very, very passionate about ending human trafficking. We live in Houston and it's so terrible in this city and around the world. And it's something that we're both very passionate about. As a result, we have made a commitment to not partner with certain industries and certain companies that we don't feel align with our anti-exploitation commitment. It might not make the most financial sense all the time to turn down some lucrative offers, but it's really important to both of us that we remain true to who we are and what we believe.
What's it like growing at a time like this time in coronavirus?
It's a unique challenge to try to grow a business during this time because everybody else is saying slow down and everybody else is struggling. We're struggling. You look around, I guess is what I'm saying, and it's a time of pulling back. So to grow feels like the wrong decision sometimes, but if you don't grow right now, you don't adapt, you don't change, you will die. And so like our pipeline for clients just kind of evaporated when this happened. And so what do you do when your prospect pipeline disappears? You have to adapt. You have to find out, is there something wrong with my pitch now that everybody is budget conscious and entire industries are put on pause? Is there something that I can do differently to make sure that my clients feel like they are getting their return on investment? And so right now is a time of constant reevaluation of who we are as a company and of what we do. And I think that that's healthy, and it's certainly keeping us on our toes.
Why do you call your clients partners? We call our clients partners because that's truly how we want to position ourselves with everyone that we work with. We're not here to exploit our clients or get as much money out of them as we possibly can. We really want to be their reliable person that they go to that helps deliver their best interests. We also think that it allows us to reframe how we're thinking and put their best interests first. We want to make sure that everything that we're doing is helping our clients grow and thrive. And we believe that that's the best for our business as well, because when our clients thrive, it's going to help Bluberry Creative thrive as well.
How do you approach new markets?
There's an answer to that before this and an answer to that right now, and I think that times have completely changed. The roles are kind of thrown out the window after this outbreak. And so we are exploring new markets that are in industries that are still functional, And you have to think about what industries are hurting right now, but will be booming whenever the switch is flipped back on. What industries could use a little bit of a nudge right now that are still kind of operating but could use a boost? And what industries are just kind of a long shot, I guess I'll say, to close an account with. So we're reevaluating that all the time. And depending on what service your business offers, if you're working B2B, then you may need to consider that as well.
I think how we approach new markets is similar to how I would recommend any of our partners approach new clients. It's figuring out what do you have that's an added benefit that adds value to whoever those potential clients might be. And so I think we try and look at who needs us and how can we be different than what they already have. And that's how we approach new clients.
Tell us about how to market in difficult times like now.
This is actually something that I'm really passionate about. So this is a PSA to everyone. Do not stop marketing right now. I know that it's really scary to invest money and invest time into marketing during such an uncertain time period. But when things get difficult, oftentimes we see that the first thing that gets cut is marketing. And that's across the board in every industry across the world. It really takes a strategic leader to recognize the value of marketing so that they understand that when things are difficult, it doesn't make sense to cut marketing. Because if you're struggling to find clients, cutting back on the one thing that's bringing in new clients is going to do the opposite of what you want it to do. So definitely don't take a step back from marketing because it's not going to help you in the long run. I would say that it's really about making sure that you figure out what your unique value is and figuring out how to communicate that to your potential clients where they're at right now.
I guess you got to stop thinking of it as marketing, and you have to think of it as taking care of your audience and your people. And, it's really hard to look someone in the eye and say, we're going to ask for X dollars a month to provide you this service, whenever that person just got out of a meeting to fire a good group of their people. It's really hard to come out of that with a favorable answer. So if you're trying to market right now, you have to work with what you've got. And you've got to make sure that you're taking care of people at all times. And I think that if you use those two mentalities, then that's where creativity thrives. Creativity thrives on scarcity. And I think that that's something that we're able to provide that's a little different than other groups, because we're able to diagnose where your business is, find out what assets we have to work with, and leverage them to the best of their ability. That's what marketing is now. It's working with what you've got and doing it quickly and consistently.
What's the biggest lesson you've taken out of WCE?
I think the biggest lesson is that when you're working with people, you need to take care of those people. And you have to make sure that you're at your best in order to do that. You can't... actually, this was a really cool quote that I saw at a conference one time. I don't remember where it was, but the quote was, you can't change the world if you can't pay your rent. And that is sort of the macro version of what I'm trying to say. You can't help others if you can't take care of yourself. And I think that there's this idea of, it's a very toxic idea, of this starving / tortured entrepreneur that is working really hard in their house all the time to just grind it out and make things work. Working hard is one thing, but not taking care of yourself makes you completely useless. And so that's something that I'm really still learning. And I started confronting that while I was in the Wolff Center. And it was a lesson that I kept having to learn over and over again as I came out. So take care of your people, but you can't do that if you're not taking care of yourself.
I think for me, the best thing that I took away from the Wolff Center for Entrepreneurship was the people. I know everybody says that, but it's really true. I've made some of the best friends that I will ever have in my entire life. People that will be there for my wedding. People that will be there for my kids and for the rest of my life. People that when I told them, hey, I want to start a marketing agency, is that crazy? They said, no, you have to do this and this is amazing. And so having that village of support behind me was really, really valuable.
What's the wisdom you want to impart on other entrepreneurs?
If you're going to do this, at all, you have to go all the way. And when you go all the way with this, you have to allow yourself to grow and to change. Because if you try to give 100% of yourself and then never expand the threshold of what it means to be yourself, you never try to grow, you never try to become more mentally healthy, expand your emotional intelligence, read more. If you don't do any of those things, you're going to burn out. You'll burn out fast and you'll never get back on. So give it all you've got, but then realize that there's always more.
Is it self-serving to say that you shouldn't skimp or underestimate the value of marketing? Because that's kind of my life mission, to tell everybody about the value that marketing has. I think besides the self-serving answer, another piece of wisdom would be to know that everybody feels imposter syndrome. I feel it all the time, every day. But actually, Christian was the one to tell me this when I first started out on my own. He said the fact that you are feeling imposter syndrome means you're doing something right, because it means you care about what you're doing, and it means you recognize the value of people that do it well. So this was advice that I got from my now partner when I first started, that I'd like to pass on to other entrepreneurs or people considering striking out on their own.
Did you fall asleep on my foot? She fell asleep on my foot. Look at this. Hi. Okay. Yeah, look at that.
The entire interview, huh?
The entire interview, yeah. She just fell asleep on my foot.